What does it mean to let go, brothers? We're always talking about, or I'm always saying that, in order to move to the next phase of your life, right? In order to move to that next level of happiness, you have to let go of that old version of self. You have to let go of those old things that you were attached to, those old people, places, you know what I'm saying, that you were attached to in that old world. But what does it really mean to let go? When I talked about the three phases of transition, which are the awareness phase, the silence, which is the bridge, right? And I talk about awareness, like when you're on that bridge, man, like that's a solid place to be. Like that's where the rubber meets the road, because that's where you're put in a position where you have to cut ties with things that no longer serve you, man. But I'm understanding now that most people don't really understand what it means to let go. I'm understanding that now, right? Now, before we even dive into this, brothers, I want to just, speak to us brothers for a second about just redefining ourselves as men, letting go actually of the old versions of what it meant to be a man. I can remember when I was younger, when a lot of us brothers were younger, man. When a brother hit 40 years old roughly, he was just now transitioning into being an old man. He moved different, he talked different, he dressed different. He just started conducting himself as one of the seniors, that roam the area, right? But brothers, we live in a different time now, man. Us as men, we have to redefine ourselves. We have to let go of the old versions of what our fathers and grandfathers used to look like and how they used to move back when we were young, man. Now's the time, man, where, when you hit 40 years old, brother, think about it. You're actually just now getting started. When you hit 40 years old, man, your bag is where it wants to be. You found that knowledge of self. You found that true identity. It's like now you're actually starting to live, man. So we have to conduct ourselves, and govern ourselves accordingly, brothers. We have to redefine what it means to be a man. What am I saying? What are you saying, Soul? What I'm saying is, brothers, we have to start taking our health seriously. We need to start eating better foods and getting out exercising. Let's stop acting like old men. We need to start taking our identities, more serious, man. Again, looking healthier, wearing better clothes, and ultimately taking care of ourselves, which includes our skin. And that's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. They have helped me start and maintain my skincare routine by making the entire process uncomplicated. Honestly, it's the best skincare system for guys like us. I recommend you start with their Level 1 system, which comes with all the basics. A daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. A 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. My favorite part about Tiege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you how to use each product, how much to use, and in what order to use it. They really make the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin easy. I've been using their products for a little while now, and I'll be honest, brothers, I'm hooked. It might sound a little weird, but I look forward to my morning routines. I look forward to my evening routines because every time I just feel that much more amazing after using their products. In addition to the amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including 1, at least 20% off the retail price, 2, the ability to customize your box, 3, the ability to pause or cancel at any time, and 4, free shipping if you're in the US, even low-cost shipping to most other countries. I'm telling you, brothers, I am a believer now. This is one product that I will not go without. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click the first link in the description box and you'll get 30% off of your first box, plus a free gift. Don't miss out on this amazing deal. Click that link and get started today. So when it comes to letting a thing go and properly letting a thing go, But it comes down to 3 steps, 3 stages, right? And the first stage is something, man, that a lot of people will never even get to, because a lot of people live their lives, stay in the same trance and stay in the same, unfavorable situations, because they can't even take this first step, which is awareness. Being aware that a person, place, or thing is no longer serving you, right? Now, I say this, man. I say that a man should ask himself 2 questions every single day. Who am I? Where am I going? In other words, when it comes to being aware if a thing is no longer serving you, brothers, you simply have to ask yourself, either this thing is no longer supporting my mission, or is no longer representing me. It's no longer supporting my mission as far as where I'm going, or is no longer a true representation of who I am. So you have to be aware that, hey, you know what, this thing has to be let go, man. I can always easily go back to religion, because we talk about that quite often. I can remember being raised as a Christian and loving the Christian religion. But there came a point in time, even though I still loved the Christian religion, I still loved, certain parts of it, it no longer represented who I was. It no longer represented, in other words, if someone said the word, I didn't want to be put in the bundle of those people due to the overall mindset, overall religion, overall practices, overall belief system. So I said, you know what? That no longer serves me. So that's what I'm saying, man. You have to identify, first off, who you are, where you're going, and look around yourself, man, and say, you know what things no longer serve me? What things no longer represent me? You know what I'm saying? And you have to be made aware, man. But I'm gonna tell you this: a lot of people will never get to that stage because they'll never take time to just sit down and observe their surroundings. I'm telling you, brothers, when you're in this trance of just, and I always say that all roads lead back to knowledge of self. I say all roads lead back there. If you haven't even tapped into that awareness of self-love and finding self, brother, you can't even identify the things around you that no longer serve you, man. So the first thing is awareness. Again, if it doesn't support your mission, if it no longer represents you, brother, it has to be placed on the chopping board. It has to be placed on the chopping board. Now, the second phase is actually letting things go. Actually letting things go, man. And this is where I'm finding that most people are getting confused, right? Because when you talk about letting things go, you're simply saying, I'm unplugging. You're simply saying, I'm disconnecting from this person, this place, or this thing, right? But this is the thing, man. People think that just by leaving a thing alone, that's disconnecting from it. You know what I'm saying? If you say, you know what, I'm no longer going to, hit certain kind of bars or entertain certain kind of people or go certain places, you think that's disconnecting, but it's really not, brothers. It's really not, man. And I always use this example, man, because this is by far one of the most common examples when you're talking about disconnecting, from something in your past. And I've mentioned this before. I was in a relationship some years ago, man. And me and this young lady had a long, interesting, exciting relationship. But when it came time to part ways, brother, we ended up breaking up and didn't have any communication for damn near 2 years. Now I felt that in my mind, I disconnected from her. I'd unplugged. I'd released something that no longer served me, right? But at the same time, the whole time, brother, I was still just as engaged, man. Because what you have to understand is, first you have to understand, like I always talk about what creative power is, right? When you talk about creative power, you're talking about straight emotional energy. So brothers, what I'm saying is, if you think you've disconnected from something, but you're still emotionally engaged with something, brother, you haven't really let it go. So when you're sitting there saying, you know what, I don't understand why my new world won't come. I don't understand why this new bag that I've been focusing on, this new type woman, this new job, this new way of living, it won't come see me, and I don't understand. But it's because even though you're disconnected from your past, as far as not entertaining it, you're still connected on an energetic, emotional level, brothers. And I'm telling you, you have to understand that. You have to understand that, man. And I don't care if it can be relationships, but brother, it can be addictions. You can be the type of person that says, you know what? I no longer I know I cut drinking out for a while, man, because it was doing something to me. Or I cut XYZ out because it was doing something to me. If you still go out to restaurants and you see people over there drinking on brews or sipping on martinis, and you still feel some kind of way, like I gotta resist, brother, you're still connected. When I say disconnected, brother, you have to be completely emotionally resolved from a thing. Meaning that you can see your ex walking down the road. You can see a bottle of Crown Royal. You can see your brother rolling up a blunt or whatever it is, man, and have no feeling to it. And I'm going to tell you, man, this is why a lot of people can't get over past traumas. This is why a lot of people can't get over past traumas, because it's like, you know what? Yeah, man, my uncle and my aunt did a certain thing to me, and I don't talk to them anymore. But if you're still connected, if you're still angry, if you're still feeling some kind of way, brother, now you're still engaged, and your world is still going to represent, that anger or whatever that feeling is, right? You can't move forward. I'm gonna tell you, brothers, you have to get to the point, and I don't care if it's old church members, I don't care if it's best friends on the block, I don't care if it's your family members. If it's making you feel and move a certain way and keeping you from growing, brother, you have to be able to see that thing, that person, place, or thing, and feel, zero emotional energy toward it. Zero affection, zero love, zero anger, zero resentment. Zero, brothers. That's what it means to completely let something go. To be able to sit in the midst of that thing that caused your trauma, man, and have no emotional connection to it. That's what letting go means, brothers. So if you're wondering, like, man, like, why is my world not doing a certain thing, brother? Just check your surroundings, man. Look at them old friends. Look at them old places. Look at those old habits and say, you know what? Am I still emotionally connected to it? Like when I see a Miller Lite commercial on TV, am I scratching my chin like, oh man, one of them cold ones would sure be nice? If so, it still got you by the balls, brothers. Disconnecting, letting a thing go means you're completely cutting emotional ties from it. You're completely cutting emotional ties from it. But this is the thing, bro. Once you do cut that tie, and you're free from that, man, this is an important step. And this is the third step, brother. You have to understand the creative process now, man. You have to understand that there's going to be a void there now. There's going to be a void, right? It's kind of like, I guess this was last spring or whatever, it's past, whenever it was. Man, my flower garden out front, man, it needed some TLC, brothers. And that was one plant that it just didn't survive the winter, right? So I had to pull that plant up. And when I pulled that plant up, man, it just left a big hole in the ground. Just left a big cavity. Now I could have just kept it moving, man, and said, you know what, I got the old thing out. But that new thing, man, was an eyesore, man. And if I wouldn't have put something in it, man, then anything could have been filled with that hole in the ground. It could have been filled with trash. It could have been filled with anything, bro. So what I had to do is I had to put something new in it. And that's what you have to do, man. When you cut ties with whatever has been emotionally still pulling from you, once you separate ties, brother, there's going to be a hole. You have to fill that thing with something. You have to fill that thing with self-love. You have to fill that thing with source energy, zero frequency. You have to fill it with something to start creating anew, brothers. And that's one of the ways, when people are in situations and they say, you know what, I've healed from a thing. I've healed from a certain type person. I've healed from whatever, man. And they easily start going back to what it was. It's like, bro, I thought I was healed, but now I find myself entertaining the same people, places, and things. It's because, man, they didn't fill that void with something, brothers. And that old world just oozed back in there. So, man, create a new world, brother. And that simply means, getting new habits, forming new habits, getting new hobbies. With that void, that's what I'm talking about when I'm saying us as men redefining ourselves. Get you a new hobby, man. Get you a fitness regimen. Start learning something new. Read some new books. You know, get around brothers that are talking about higher vibrating things. Get around people that are cooking high vibrational foods, having high vibrational conversations, and fill that void. And I'm telling you, once you move like that, that old world will start to dissolve, brothers. But that's what it means to let go. Again, I can't say this enough, man. Letting go, you know, leaving something alone, not entertaining a thing, not going to this certain type environment, not entertaining this certain type woman, not actually entertaining a certain type vice. That alone is not going to do it, brothers. Again, you have to be able to put yourself in the midst of this thing and have no emotional tie to it. You give actual, you know, zero F's about it, man. That's what it means to disconnect, man. That's what it means to let go, brothers. Brothers, don't forget to click the Tiege Hanley link in the description box and get 30% off of your first box plus a free gift. How copy?